this is Judy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to it. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you are, thank you so much. It helps creating this content, knowing people are watching. And today I am in a YouTube hop, and it is for the paper crafting YouTubers. We are doing To the Moon and Back. And my photos are not about the moon or anything, but it's going to be to the mud and back. So yeah, I put a little spin on it. I haven't determined what layout it's going to be, or sketch kind of thing. This is the main photo. The kiddos went for a walk, and oh my god, all they had to do was find some mud and they were in heaven. So I got some stamp sets, and I love the little muddy footprints here, and the Dream Big little guy for my grandson, and then this one that says over the hill and through the woods to grandma's house you go, you know, because it's grandma. So those I pulled out to use, and I'm going to get some papers and a sketch, and then I'll be back. I chose this for the background. I love it. It's I'm gonna say alcohol ink background with gold embossing, and I'm just going to run with this idea. I'm going to do a Distress Oxide background on White Daisy and use some of the Dina Wakley paints to use to add some gold and white. And then this little picture is a layout, and it's just photos, and it has strips of ribbon, I believe, across it, and it's great for a very colorful background where you want your photos to stand out. So I'm going to use this idea for my layout. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get my Distress Oxide out and do my background. I have my craft mat from Close to My Heart. Got my sponges for my background. I got Lucky Clover, peeled paint, peacock feathers, Chip Sapphire, Mermaid Lagoon, and Prize Ribbon. So let's see what will go. I think the Prize Ribbon will go with his coat, Mermaid Lagoon with her coat, and the two greens, and that'll be enough color. I think I'm going to start with the darkest green at the bottom. And I will speed up through this because it will take quite a while, so I may just skip through to the end. But if you haven't seen blending before, these domed blending brushes make it very easy. You start off of your paper from your craft sheet, which is very slippery, and see how that intense ink is along there? It's because ink is on the mat, it's being picked up by my sponge and onto the paper. And I'm going to need something for my fingers because you don't want to touch it wherever the ink is, because then it will pick up the oils from your fingers. And when you go to change color, you're just going to go onto it. And I can use the same sponge. It's in the same color family. I could use different ones, but I don't feel that's necessary. And then I will go back to the Lucky Clover, and I'll go up into the peeled paint, and I'll do this all the way across so it gives a nice blended color of greens. Okay. Now I want to add some splatters on my paper, so I'm going to put a little bit of the color on my mat, and then I'll splatter. And this is just a water brush that Close to My Heart sells. You can get them a lot of different places. And you want to use, you know, the colors from all the colors everywhere on the page. I could do just the green down here and just the blue up here, but I like it so it looks like it all belongs together. And clean it up after the use. You could mix the colors if you want to. And I'm just going to clean my brush off on here, squeeze a little water out to make sure I get all the green out. I could use this on some white daisy to maybe use on another project. I've done that a lot. I could also use it for smushing. I really like this. This is so pretty. I like how the blue from the prize ribbon looks like a sky. All right, so let me get a piece of white. And now I'm going to do the prize ribbon. And this is a really cool background piece now I can use for cards or to cut it for tags or anything for a background. I don't like to waste my ink. Okay, now I'm going to pull out the paints and we'll splatter those. I couldn't help myself. I pulled out 3. I think this lime is going to look really cool. It dries opaque so that it has some dimension to it. So I'm not going to put a lot on, and you can see all the sentiment on the bottom. So make sure you mix those up really well. Okay, I've shook these up, so now I'm going to splatter them, and I will speed it up while I do it. So I'm cutting my title out of the white daisy, and it's going to be Love You to the Mud and Back. And I thought I'd get out these little boot prints, and I'm going to stamp the white with some of the brown ink. Let's use our new mocha. I don't really want a boot print to show. I just want the impression that it's there. Just like that. So when I peel them out, it'll just have a little bit of muddy boot print there. We'll see how that looks. How cool, right? I love doing that to my titles. So now it'll go on here like this. All right. Background is dry. I love it. It came out really nice. I don't know if you can see some of the paint. It has a little bit of texture when you run your hand over it, but not a lot. I printed this out, and it's going to be Love You to the Moon, Love You to the Mud and Back. This is going to be the main photo. And I'm going to cut this one down. Yeah, I'll put this one here. Just like that. And then I'm going to put some strips across of, I don't know if I'm going to do pattern paper. I might find some zip strips. I haven't determined that yet, but one will be plain cardstock with the Over the Hill and Through the Woods stamped on it. I may do a few just because I don't know what's going to show. And then of course I'm going to do Dream Big Little Guy on a bunch of them as well. So I'll go find some of those and be back in a minute. Looks like I'm going to need a strip that's at least 3/4 of an inch. So zip strips won't work. All right. I cut strips of the same colored cardstock that I used in the title and behind the photo mats. I didn't want to bring any pattern paper in because I've got a lot going on in the background, and I think it's enough. So we'll see. So the only other thing I've got to do is stamp on these, and I'm going to use the Bluebird ink, which is the color of the card, one of the card stocks that I used. And I'm going to stamp this one. Dream big, little guy. Make sure I got a good impression. And put it on here. And I think I'm going to do 2 of them. I might not use them both, but this way if one gets cut off, I'm going to cut them out. But if one gets tucked under something, it'll still have the representation that you'll be able to read what it would have said. The next thing I'm going to do is stamp Over the Hill and Through the Woods. This is from a Stamp of the Month of borders that close to my heart had. I just love these border stamps. There's hills too, and I could always use those, but don't want to do too much, and then everything gets lost. And I'm going to use toffee on one and mocha on the other, because the one was with the title, it was the mud. Where is it? So the background was the toffee color, and then the inking was the mocha. So I want to use both of those to bring those colors somewhere else. Perfect. All right, now we'll do the mocha. And I did the lightest ink first, so then I don't have to really clean this off with the second ink because it's darker. Putting it on the white background makes it really hard to see. Perfect. Got a little off here, but I'm okay with it. So I'm going to take the pictures off. And the title. I'm going to cut these down. I'm going to put some temporary adhesive along the back of the photos, so just to tack them down while I do the strips. I don't think I'm going to use as many strips as I have because I'm losing a lot of that fun background that I created. It's too much. Although the title really makes it pop. I love the title, so I'm happy with that. Now this one looks good here. That could even go on the yellow. And the white, these are what's going to be my journaling. So I want to have some white and then the dark blue. But I need the dark blue to continue here and here, and the yellow too. So that's good. This yellow is getting lost, so we're going to take that out. This blue has some of the wording on it, so we need that. I like this yellow here. This looks really good. This blue is getting lost too. I don't think we need that there. And then we have the light yellow. And I'm thinking I might not have this one. I like the yellow there though. I might cut that down and then this blue. There, I like that better. Okay, so I'm going to put it together and glue it all down. I'm only going to put glue in the center so I can tuck the other pieces underneath it. I think I'm going to use this one for here. And then I'll cut it off and put some over here. I think I'm done. I just have my journaling here. I have the date and a couple things to say. Otherwise, I love it. It's so bright and colorful. It matches their outfits perfect. And I hope you enjoyed this. It was fun to make. And make sure you go to the video description, because there's a list of ladies that are participating in this YouTube hop, and you will enjoy a lot of their great artwork. So have a great day. Thank you for joining me. Take care.